The National Human Rights Commission is the body mandated to promote and protect human rights and has the power to monitor, receive, investigate, and consider complaints of human rights violations, recommend appropriate remedial actions, and seek appropriate redress for victims. NHRIs support government, CSOs, public and private entities to put in place policies and laws in line with international human rights standards, especially on children, women, persons with disabilities, and marginalized groups.
We are really the auditors of human rights. Not only do we promote and protect human rights, we also have an advisory role to the government to make sure that the government respect, protect, and fulfill the fundamental rights of every person living within the jurisdiction of the Gambia. We are the custodian of the never again, and by the very mandate that is vested in us, we are here to make sure that we'll never go back the road where human rights abuses were rampant. We also have a regional presence. We have 2 regional offices, one based in Parapenya, covering both the North Bank region and the Lower River region. We also have a regional office in Basse, covering the Upper River region and the Central River region. In each of those offices, we have an administrator, a legal officer, an investigator, and a driver. In other words, what we have done is that we have decentralized, if you could say, human rights.
The significance of the office in the region cannot be overemphasized because it means a lot. It means now the communities in the region have access to the Human Rights Commission office. You know, the Human Rights Commission, since it established, it was within the Greater Banjul area. So most of the people cannot have access to the office, but with the establishment of the office in the region, will give people access to the office to lodge complaints and other things.
The office of the Basefan, neither do not work with a calandu to Marvin the jail. Has a sign, the office on you, Yakatako, Yalandu to sin office on you. Cardonia de co, even I live a monk, Catani, Nintel Fanamasi office on you. But in Landu to Sina is a humo fonton tetuya. Amanda Leco, Moetalini, it a tema killer.
Within 3 years of our existence, 77.3% of the population, they believe that the work we are doing is effective and is efficient, and that it's an asset to the rule of law and governance systems that we have in the Gambia.
Before the National Human Rights Commission, if there are violations, there is nowhere people can go to lodge their complaints. And there is no authority that really can be in charge. So what happens during those, before the advent of the National Human Rights Commission, is people are left to the wishes of the people who are more powerful than them. But now, with the National Human Rights Commission, they are taking over. People go there, complain, and they do take steps because they are empowered by the Act.
We have had very good relationship with civil society. They play a very important role because they are on the ground. So you have various civil societies who are specialists in specific thematic areas of human rights and rule of law.
In recent times, especially in 2023, we have seen a great impact in our collaboration, in a sense that we deal with victims of violation of human rights, and we always ensure that whenever we lay complaint to the authorities, especially the police, we always put the national human rights in the picture. And we have seen that since we started doing that as an organization, they have been very proactive in ensuring that the organization or the institution that we are, engaging, they are doing their work as they're supposed to do it.
One good example that impressed me by the work of the National Human Rights Commission, there were times when the police, one of the police sectors, were really too brutal on the civilians, to the extent that there was a chap who was maltreated by a particular police officer, and by subjecting him to an inhumane treatment. So because National Human Rights Commission is around, the lodge complaints were lodged, and they followed the matter, and necessary actions were taken by leaders that matter.
The head of the NHRC called and some workers from here. So they asked me if I wanted to come around and say some little things about it, and they could see how to process the matter. The staff were very welcoming and very supportive at the same time, because they really helped in protecting my identity at the same time whilst the investigation was going on.
The National Human Rights Commission is now completely known and identified as watchdog institution that is supporting the promotion and protection of human rights. I find it to be to live up to its expectation, the mandate to protect and promote human rights. That is why my matter was not discriminated. It was taken seriously like any other matter that they would have before them.
In April 2020, the National Human Rights Commission received alerts from concerned natives of Gunjur and Sanyang villages on the effects of indiscriminate sand mining and environmental pollution by sand mining companies and fish meal factories on their communities and livelihoods. The fish meal factories in these communities, they claim, have polluted the sea and contributed to overfishing, while the indiscriminate sand mining has caused serious erosion and severe damages to the women's gardens in Gunjur. To this end, the National Human Rights Commission wishes to further engage government institutions, private sector and the affected communities to ascertain the damage caused to victims and, where fitting, recommend to the concerned authorities on the appropriate form of redress.
As human rights are indivisible and interdependent, the National Human Rights Commission not only deals with violations of civil and political rights, but also economic, social and cultural rights to ensure that every individual living in the Gambia lives a life of dignity.
And I would hasten to say that the biggest achievement really is the recognition that we have been given by the Global Alliance for National Human Rights Institution, the GANRI, which is the institution that actually accredits. It monitors, it supervises, and it gives accreditation to all national human rights institutions throughout the whole world. And within 3 years of our existence, the GANRI felt that the way we operated, the way we are doing our work, we were entitled to be accredited an A status. And if you ask me, I think this is one of the greatest achievements. To our development partners, I would say really thank you very much. You have really been there for us. And as I've said that, yes, we thank the government. They set up this institution and they give it a core funding. But most of our programmatic activities that we do, it's because of the support we have from our donors, diplomatic missions and embassies. If we want a successful Gambia, please continue to support the work that we do. Thank you.